Welcome back to It's Just Queen Bee's Thoughts. Today, we're diving into a topic that's essential for maintaining a healthy and balanced recovery: setting boundaries. Boundaries can feel challenging, especially if we're used to people-pleasing or allowing others to take advantage of us. But in recovery, creating boundaries is crucial, not just with others, but with ourselves. Today, we'll talk about why boundaries matter, how to identify where they're needed, and ways to enforce them without feeling guilty. Let's get into it. Boundaries are simply guidelines we set to protect our well-being. They help us define what's acceptable and what's not, whether in relationships, work, or personal life. In recovery, boundaries can mean distancing ourselves from people or situations that may jeopardize our progress, or even setting time aside just for self-care. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about creating space to heal, grow, and thrive. When we set boundaries, we're affirming that our recovery and well-being come first. And while it may feel selfish, remember that true self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary for sustained healing. One of the first steps in setting boundaries is recognizing when and where they're needed. Sometimes it's obvious. A friend who doesn't respect your recovery journey, or a family member who brings constant negativity. But other times, boundaries are needed in more subtle ways, like managing our own stress levels or saying no when we are overwhelmed. Identifying where your energy feels drained or where you feel uncomfortable can be a great start. Pay attention to your gut reactions. When something doesn't feel right, or when you leave a situation feeling exhausted, it might be a sign that you need to establish a boundary in that area. Once you've identified the boundaries we need, the next challenge is communicating them. Setting boundaries with friends, family, or coworkers can be difficult, especially if they're not used to you saying no. But remember, you don't have to justify or explain every boundary. It's enough to simply say, I need this to take care of myself. Clear, calm communication is key. It can be helpful to practice saying no in small ways. Each time you assert a boundary, you're reinforcing your commitment to your well-being, and start with the people you trust and build from there. Boundaries aren't just about other people. They're about us too. This might mean setting limits on negative self-talk, giving yourself time to rest instead of overworking, or setting a firm bedtime to support your mental health. In recovery, self-boundaries can help us stay accountable and prioritize self-respect. Think of these boundaries as promises you make to yourself. Try setting one personal boundary this week. It could be limiting social media time, prioritizing one day of self-care, or even allowing yourself time to relax without guilt. Over time, these self-boundaries add up and create a foundation of self-trust and respect. Sometimes setting boundaries means facing pushback from others who aren't used to the new you. Friends or family members might challenge your decisions or pressure you to keep things the way they've always been. Remember, it's okay to stand firm. Boundary setting often means re-educating the people around us about what we need. If someone pushes against your boundary, it's more about them than you. Stand firm in what you need and remind yourself that it's okay if others don't fully understand. Their acceptance isn't required for your boundary to be valid. Boundaries aren't set in stone. They're flexible and they'll grow and shift as you do. Over time, you may need to reevaluate certain boundaries or create new ones as you progress in your recovery. The key is to regularly check in with yourself to see what's working and what might need adjustment. Try scheduling a boundary check-in every month. Look at your boundaries and ask yourself, are they still serving me? Is there anything I need to change? These regular reflections will help you stay attuned to your needs. Thanks for tuning in today as we explored the power of setting boundaries in recovery. Remember, boundaries are a form of self-respect and self-care. They're here to protect your progress, to guard your peace, and to ensure that you're living in a way that honors your journey. Setting boundaries may be challenging, but with time, they become a natural part of honoring yourself. Until next time, take care and protect your peace. You deserve it.